in today's video we are going to talk about e-security. First of all, children, security. When we talk about security, why is security essential? Security is essential part of any transaction which takes place over the internet, as customers will lose his or her faith in e-business if it is not secured. If there is any kind of compromise being done on the security, that is security in terms of personal information of the customer being shared on the internet. So when we talk about e-security means network security, browser security and computer security. It involves setting up of measures or checks and rules against attack over the internet. Children, you must have faced at any point of time, or you must have heard from any of your friends or your family members that their personal information has been hacked. There has been any kind of fraud taken up against them over the internet. Say, supposingly they have done some kind of shopping on the internet and their credit card information has been fraudulently shared by someone. This is where the role of e-security comes into being. So, when we talk about e-security, we must also know what are the different types of risks involved on the internet, because of which e-security is required. The different types of risk involved over the internet are: first, fraud; second, sharing of personal information; thirdly, hacking. Say a person has hacked your account, say your Facebook account, your any of the social media account. So for that purpose, the role of e-security is quite important. Now, let us know essential requirements for transactions being done over the internet. Why is there a need for e-security? First of all, confidentiality. Children, when we talk about confidentiality, information should not be accessible to an unauthorized person. It should not be intercepted during the transmission. For example, in case of credit card, you must have often received phone calls, or your parents must have received phone calls as, say, a lucky coupon is being provided to you, or any kind of discount being provided to you, or sir, we are calling from the credit card people, please share your information. Such kind of calls should not be entertained. These are against the confidentiality of your credit card or your personal information. Secondly, availability. Availability refers to information should be available wherever, whenever required, within a time limit specified. For example, you must have seen the OTP numbers are nowadays being used for different kind of transactions over the internet. Why are we using these OTP numbers? These OTP numbers are basically mathematical numbers which are available for 30 to 60 seconds, to which only the user, that is the sender and the receiver, can only use it. No other person is allowed to have that OTP number. This is for the security, for the e-security purpose, children. That is why this is necessity to make the information available only to the people to whom it is of use, to avoid any kind of frauds. Next is authenticity. There should be a system or a mechanism to authenticate a user before giving him or her an access to the required information. For example, there are security keys just like your OTP keys, which are available only and only to the user and the sender, so that the information is authentic and it cannot be misused by any third person. Next is integrity. Integrity is information should not be altered during its transmission over the network. Supposingly, you have shared your credit card details and then you, in between the transaction being getting processed, you change the credit card information. This should not happen, so that there is an integrity being maintained on the internet and there is no kind of fraud. Next is encryption. Encryption is quite important these days. Information should be encrypted and decrypted only by the authorized user. Just like in case of security keys are used and the OTP numbers are readily used these days for any kind of shopping. You must have seen when you order online, there is an OTP number being generated which is sent to only the registered mobile number. No other person can use that OTP number, so that there is no kind of fraud being involved. It is a very good method of providing the security over the internet. Next is audibility. Data should be recorded in such a way that it can be audited for integrity requirements, so that the data can be used for further any kind of requirements. Children, when we talk about e-security, there are a lot of threats being involved in e-security on the internet. When we do any kind of shopping, there are a lot of threats which we face, which the computer faces. So let us discuss about them. First is malware. Malware is any software intentionally designed to cause damage to a computer, server, client or computer network. Example, computer viruses, spywares, Trojan horse, etc. Children, you must have faced at time that the information which you put on the computer is being shared without the consent of the concerned person, that is without your consent. This is malwares are readily available these days which hack your information, which use your information, which are designed to cause the damage to the computer so that the information can be shared with the third party, which is a major threat these days in the e-security. Next are computer viruses. Computer viruses are basically to destroy, to infect the files available on the computer. They basically work to take over the computer, to steal the data of the computer and then pass it then on to the third person. This is also one of the major threats which the internet is facing, which the online shopping, online transactions are facing, online business is facing as a threat. Now, let us discuss about spyware. Spyware is a type of malware that aims to gather information about a person or organization without their knowledge and send such information to hackers, that is another entity, without the consumer's consent. This is also, children, very common these days. Just like when you put your credit card details, they are being shared with the third party, which at times hack your credit cards and they do the shopping over your cards. It is basically a kind of pruning of your credit cards being done without your credit card information being shared to the third party. Next is keylogger. Keylogger, often known as the keystroke logging or keyboard capturing. It is the action of recording the key struck on the keyboard, typically covertly so that person using the keyboard is unaware that their actions are being monitored, and then the data can be retrieved by the person logging into the computer. It is also very dangerous, children, as the keys which you struck while doing your work are being captured, are being monitored, and then say supposingly you are using your credit card details, you are typing your credit card details through the keyboard. They are being captured and then they are passed on to the third party. So there is a great loss to the e-security. These were the threats. Now let us discuss the remedies to cure these threats in the e-security. The first remedy or the first measure to provide e-security in a safe way is encryption. Encryption is very effective and practical way to safeguard the data being transmitted over the internet. Sender of the information encrypts the data using a secret code, and only the specified receiver can decrypt the data using the same or a different secret code. It is basically a security key being provided by the sender to the receiver. Unless and until he does not decrypt that security key, no other person can use it. It is very effective way, children. Now let us discuss the digital signature. Digital signature ensures the authenticity of the information. It is like a digital signature or an e-signature which authenticates through encryptions and password. Children, you must have noticed these days when you do online shopping and when they deliver your courier, they take e-digital signatures from you, which are like so that no other person can take your couriers, so that they are delivered to the right person and at the right place. It is quite effective these days. Next is security certificate. Security certificate is a unique digital ID used to verify the identity of individuals over the website or the user. It is basically an ID is created which can be used only by the receiver or the sender, and the password is also generated which only a particular person can use on a particular website. No other person is allowed to use that password or ID. It is quite unique to a particular individual only. So this was all about e-security. We covered first of all, what do we mean by e-security? Why do we need e-security? What are the essential requirements for which we need e-security? Then we covered threats to e-security, and then further we discussed the measures towards providing e-security. Thank you. Have a great day.